All right, YouTube. This is a little continuation of where I'm at on my P-51. Got the hose drill for the engine, DA60. Putting this canopy on next. Got this one in. Got this one all glued up. Got my man in. He's ready to go. So, just thought I'd touch on a few little odds and ends about this canopy. Let's see, where do I start? Some of the things in the manual is right, some of them are not, about how to do this. I tried to, okay, what am I, let's see. I did this a couple days ago, so I'm trying to remember exactly. Okay, in the manual, you'll have wood across here. It supports for this small frame that goes in there. And they'll tell you to glue the canopy all together, the canopy onto the frame, then remove the wood, which you don't want to do that. You want to remove the wood before you glue the frame. It's a small piece that goes around, because you will not be able to get to the wood up here very good, and it would be a little bit of a nightmare. So remove that wood before you glue that in. And it says to glue it and on the plane like this. I don't recommend that either. So glue it on the table, put all your clamps, and use these strips. This canopy will not be done right unless you use a strip like that and clamp it all the way down through there. These little plastic clamps work good, but I taped it and clamped it. First I taped it and that didn't work, so then I saw that I could I tried taping it without the wood, and that didn't, I did that on the plane here. See, I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to remember. So I put the wood up here and tried to do it like the book said, and that's a nightmare. That does not work. So I took it off and had it taped up. I ran tape around like this, but all that did was pull the top of the canopy away from the frame. So then when I saw that, I put this strip down through there and taped that. When I got to the end back here, it kind of sticks out like that. Let me show you. It sticks out like that right there. So it takes a lot of pressure to pull it in. So after it dried overnight, then I saw that on this side over here, there's a little bit of a wave in it. And I just filled it back up with glue and then clamped it really good there. But after it dried, I found out that the Vietnamese that made the plane, they sanded that in too much, and that was why it had to be pulled in. If I would have knew that, I would have put a piece of wood in between that, but I just didn't see that. So they didn't build this plane right at all. Whoever was building this plane, he was new at building planes and he wasn't very good at it, or either he didn't care. But because these mixture screws are going to be on the top. When the engine's on, the mixture screws are going to be up here. I'm going to have to cut a hole out there. I can't pull that engine off every time I need to tune it. So I'm going to have to, that's what I got to do on this engine. If I would have knew that, I would have went with a different engine. Because some of the DLEs, the tuners are on, the mixture screws are on the side. So, but what I decided to do is cut a hole in that, about 10 millimeter, and put a rubber plug in that. It's just the way it has to be. Okay? I still have this little piece to put on the inside of the frame. It goes back there. So now I'll do that tomorrow after this dries. And this is another tricky canopy, because the frame that goes around the front of this, they say in the manual to glue it on the plane without the canopy. When it dries, then put the canopy on it. But you can't do that, because if you glue that frame on the plane before the canopy is put on, and you think you're going to put it up straight up and down, which it don't go straight up and down. It's a little bit on an angle. And you're better off doing, well, I hope I'm doing the right way. I glue the frame into the canopy, then I'll epoxy both bottom parts of the frame and put canopy glue on it, then set it in there and let it dry. So that's how I'm gonna have to do it. I've thought about that many a times, and there's really no other way to do that, as far as the way I think it should be done. So it looks like it's not very far, but it is far. The elevators are done. I don't have them on because it's awkward in the only thing that I don't really have done is the hole cut out. Oh, and I did notice that when my muffler goes on, it'll be this way. It hits this top board right here. So I cut that out, but I'm gonna shave more of it off. It's just like a little lip here. That end part wants to touch that. So I'll have to do that. And I don't have, I need a 922, JR922 receiver. I was gonna put 2 of them in here, or even a 921. I have a few of them, but they're in the other planes and I don't really wanna take them out. So I'll be running 2 receivers, one for the ignition, because DA only makes their ignitions for 6 volt, and I think they should change that. But so I'm gonna have to run a 6 volt battery on my ignition, and my servos are 7.4, so I have some 7.4 batteries. I'll be using a 7.4 on the servos. So I need a couple switches. I even thought about buying a SmartFly EQ6 or whatever to plug everything into, and I still might do that. I'm a long ways off from putting a radio in it or flying it right now, so that's why I'm not worried too much about that. Let's see. So the engine fits on really good. other than that muffler touching that. So I did have to sand on the motor mount a little bit to get the choke to fit. I think it was right here, or yeah, right here. I think it was right here. So and then I ground a little bit on it for the fuel line. But their muffler, I mean, their stupid tank, it's a 32 cc or 32, it is huge. 32 ounces, I mean. And the only reason I'm not using it is these barbs up here, I think, are 5/32. They're huge. And the DA nipple is an 1/8, so they call for an 1/8 hose, inside diameter hose. And when I went to use this, put the fuel line on, I noticed that this one is a 5/32. And that phone does not want to focus. So I'm gonna use this 24 ounce, and I'm just waiting for the, they don't want to sell us any metal fittings right here. They want to give you this plastic shit, and I just don't like it. So, cause they got this hardware right here, not this kind, but I like the metal, where it takes a metal screw instead of a wood screw for plastic. They give you these ends right here, plastic. They expect that to push on that rubber. I don't trust it. So $30, I just bought one from Sullivan. It's coming in the mail, so that'll be for over here. And let's see. So that's where I'm at now, YouTube. But I love my man. If I had it over to do, I think I would have bought a. He looks good in there, but I think I would have bought a 12-inch. This is a 15. I sent it back to Warbird Pilots, and he was going to send me a 15 and a 12 back, but I decided that just send my 15 back because I'll make him fit. He said you can bend it and make it fit, so I did. He looks okay. And so that's about it, YouTubers. That's where I'm at. Like and subscribe, and follow me through.